За сайн байцгаана уу? Өнөөдөр хэдүүлээ IELTS Cambridge IELTS 12-ийн reading test 5-ийн passage нэгийг уншъя. Cork. Cork. The thick bark of the cork oak tree is a remarkable material. It is tough, elastic, buoyant, and fire-resistant, and suitable for a wide range of purposes. It has also been used for millennia. The ancient Egyptians sealed their sarcophagi, stone coffins, with cork, while the ancient Greeks and Romans used it for anything from beehives to sandals. And the cork oak itself is an extraordinary tree. Its bark grows up to 20 centimeters in thickness, insulating the tree like a coat wrapped around the trunk and branches and keeping the inside at a constant 20 degrees Celsius all year round. Developed most probably as a defense against forest fires, the bark of the cork oak has a particular cellular structure with about 40 million cells per cubic centimeter that technology has never succeeded in replicating. The cells are filled with air, which is why cork is so buoyant. It also has an elasticity that means you can squash it and watch it spring back to its original size and shape when you release the pressure. Cork oaks grow in a number of Mediterranean countries, including Portugal, Spain, Italy, Greece, and Morocco. They flourish in warm, sunny climates where there's a minimum of 400 millimeters of rain per year and not more than 800 millimeters. Like grapevines, the trees thrive in poor soil, putting down deep roots in search of moisture and nutrients. Southern Portugal's Alentejo region meets all of these requirements, which explains why, by the early 20th century, this region had become the world's largest producer of cork and why today it accounts for roughly half of all cork production around the world. Most cork forests are family-owned. Many of these family businesses and indeed many of the trees themselves are around 200 years old. Cork production is above all an exercise in patience. From the planting of a cork sapling to the first harvest takes 25 years, and a gap of approximately a decade must separate harvests from an individual tree. And for top quality cork, it's necessary to wait a further 15 or 20 years. You even have to wait for the right kind of summer's day to harvest cork. If the bark is stripped on a day when it's too cold or when the air is damp, the tree will be damaged. Cork harvesting is a very specialized profession. No mechanical means of stripping cork bark has been invented, so the job is done by teams of highly skilled workers. First, they make vertical cuts down the bark using small sharp axes, then lever it away in pieces as large as they can manage. The most skillful cork strippers prise away a semicircular husk that runs the length of the trunk from just above ground level to the first branches. It is then dried on the ground for about 4 months before being taken to factories where it is boiled to kill any insects that might remain in the cork. Over 60% of cork then goes on to be made into traditional bottle stoppers, with most of the remainder being used in the construction trade. Cork board and cork tiles are ideal for thermal and acoustic insulation, while granules of cork are used in the manufacture of concrete. Recent years have seen the end of the virtual monopoly of cork as the material for bottle stoppers due to concerns about the effect it may have on the contents of the bottle. This is caused by a chemical compound called 2,4,6-trichloranisol, which forms through the interaction of plant phenols, chlorine, and mold. The tiniest concentrations, as little as 3 or 4 parts of a trillion, can spoil the taste of the product contained in the bottle. The result has been a gradual yet steady move towards plastic stoppers and more recently to aluminum screw caps. These substitutes are cheaper to manufacture and in the case of screw caps, more convenient for the user. The classic cork stopper does have several advantages, however. Firstly, its traditional image is more in keeping with that of the type of high-quality goods with which it has long been associated. Secondly, and very importantly, cork is a sustainable product that can be recycled without difficulty. Moreover, cork forests are a resource which support local biodiversity and prevent desertification in the regions where they are planted. So, given the current concerns about environmental issues, the future of this ancient material once again looks promising. За баярлалаа. Дараагийн 3 удаа сансараа.